Welcome back to Kosi's Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi, and how are you guys doing? This is your match preview. Benfica up against Arsenal, a tie that had to be played down in Portugal. Now it's transferred to Rome because of COVID-19 SOPs, but we are going to be discussing that and more, the standard procedures, why this match shifted, where are we going to play it from, what is the current spot of Benfica in their league, and what is the predicted lineup that Arsenal should be using. What are some of the tactics we should be using against Benfica? Because I've seen them, as a club that use a traditional 4-4-2, probably we stand a chance against them. They are not that super good. They are not that Benfica we are afraid of. Maybe they have a legacy in Europe, but I don't think we have so many things to be afraid of. Smash the like button and get your subscriptions in, because we are going to dive into so much of this, especially the predicted lineup that, like we always do. We're going to be discussing, should Martin Odegaard actually play in this game? Is he eligible? I mean, those are some of the questions that you people do have about this game. Is Odegaard available, because he's been playing with Real Madrid, the Champions League? Is he available to play for Arsenal in the Europa League? And so much more. So it is this Thursday. It is when we decide whether, or we know whether we shall actually go on to the next stage, or we actually stay out of the Europa League until next season. It is our only chance to win silverware, and I've always said it and I say it again. If Arsenal can't win the Europa League, which I don't think we can, sadly, I don't think there is anything for us to win this, in this season. And the truth is, I don't think Arsenal is going to win any silverware this season, just to be a little bit realistic. But if you want me to be optimistic, I think our only chance to silverware this season is the Europa League. So if I look at Benfica, actually, in their league, they are fourth on the table. Sporting has 51 points and they are fourth with 38 points. So that means that's a difference of around 13 points, 14 points from the top. It looks like their title hopes have faded a little bit. They can, however, be third or second, because they're only 2 points away from Braga, who are third, and a couple of 5 points away from second. But the difference between them and Sporting Lisbon is very, very huge. So I don't think they'll actually be fighting for that. And their last game, they played against Moreirense. I mean, that's the team, isn't it? But I'm more interested in the lineups and how they were actually lining up, just to see how we can actually go around this fixture in our predicted lineup. So if you look at their last lineup, they played a 4-4-2 formation with two strikers, that is Nunes and Seferovic. They had Everton, Wigo, Tarabat and Silva in the midfield, a midfield of 4, and then a back 4 with Jan Vertonghen, Nicola Otamendi, Goncalves, as well as Grimaldo. Their goalkeeper is Leite, not Letelier, but Leite. So that is how they line up with the 4. They line up with a 4-4-2. I know, but for me, my biggest question and the question I would want to know about this game is, how is Mikel Arteta going to set out against Benfica? Because if it's a game we want to win, and it's a game we are going out to win, then you have to change tactics. We've not been playing in the Europa League, I think for now 2 months, yeah. So everything is gonna be new, and now it's being on a neutral ground. Benfica, how do you approach Benfica? How do you line up? How do you set up your team against Benfica? What is the right lineup? What are the right tactics? How do Benfica play? At least one of the reputation they do have is they are very, very possessive. They play counter-attacking football, very, very, very possessive of the ball. If you give them that chance, just like Leeds, they're hard-working, and they play that kind of football that is really interesting. So Arsenal, we have to be very, very careful when we take on Benfica on Thursday. But still, I'm going to go with Leno in goal. I think He has the experience, you know, in playing in the Europa League for the last 2 seasons. He's played, you know, on a couple of. I don't know whether he's played Benfica before. I'm not really sure about that. Who he's played a team from Portugal, but at least I know he's the best goalkeeper we have, and I think it will do us much good if he doesn't actually make those stupid mistakes he did against Wolves. The back four is a little bit interesting because David Luiz has played for Benfica before, so probably we shall have him fit into the lineup with Gabriel Magalhaes. They had a very good partnership over the weekend. Rob Holding getting a chance to rest. Now I don't know whether you know, he left up, you know, Rob Holding courtesy of giving him some time to rest, or he thought David Luiz and Gabriel Magalhaes would actually be the best defensive partnership. According to the 2 goals we conceded, yeah, I cannot say, you know, they were up there in the air. I can't say they were on top of the game, but probably because we won, you know, you really can't, you know, pin them down so much. But I felt that distance between them. I saw that distance between them, especially on the second goal, because I think that's a goal that, you know, was or would have been, you know, eliminated. And the first goal, David Luiz is actually overpowered, you know, and that header, you know, a header gets into the back of the net. But I still think they can play together. I have no problems with them. In the right back, Hector Bellerin, of course we have no options now because you know, before the season, you know, coming into January, we had options. We had so many options. We could play either, you know, Ainsley, we could play Cedric, we could play Bellerin, but I think things have really changed now. We can't play, we don't have so many options, you know, when it comes to a right back. Cedric is playing in the left back. Ainsley has gone out on the loan to West Brom, so probably now it's clear that we have one right back who is Hector Bellerin, and the other who would be the backup right back is actually playing as our left back. So that is Cedric Soares. You know, forgive the internet, my pictures are coming slowly, but they will come, and actually they will be there. In the midfield, I think this is where the drama is going to be. They play a 4-4-2. They play with 4 midfielders. They're like Leicester City, they're like Leeds. They pack that midfield, and actually they don't play low block. They you know, Benfica actually do not love that kind of football where, you know, they do not have the ball. They're just like, they're really possessive. They want to have that ball all the time. And in their last game, you could see they had a 65% you know, ball possession. That is how you know, good they are, you know, at keeping the ball. However much, you know, results have not been coming in thick and fast. They have only 2 wins in their last 5 games, 2 draws and 1 loss. So I think they're not really doing so well. But that doesn't communicate to the fact, you know, that doesn't bring it any fact that they're not good. So I'm going to go with Granit Xhaka since Thomas Partey is away. Let us use Granit Xhaka as our main man in the midfield. Yeah, I know it is risky, you know, with the talent and style of play of Benfica. You need a player who is a little bit faster than Granit Xhaka, but like I said, we have nothing to do. It is Xhaka who is available, and I think it's so easy for Mikel Arteta these days, you know, to select his, you know, starting lineup because Partey is away, Xhaka is available, and so Xhaka plays. But over the weekend, he used Dani Ceballos and Granit Xhaka, which wasn't bad. Really, it wasn't bad. But I'm not going to go with Dani Ceballos and Xhaka. I'll go with Emil Smith Rowe. I think it's time we used Smith Rowe and Martin Odegaard together. I know in a clash like that of you know, against Benfica, you would use Emil Smith Rowe and Martin Odegaard. For me, my idea is, if you have Granit Xhaka providing the defensive shield, which cannot actually last long if you are actually you know, on the back foot, then what we have to do is go out there, have that ball most of the time, at least have that ball 60 minutes out of the 90 minutes, which is not so easy against a club like, you know, Benfica. But if you can do that, and how do you do that? Emil Smith Rowe is very good at holding that ball. You know, just make sure that you actually are supporting him. Odegaard is very good at, you know, holding that ball. You just make sure that you're supporting him, and that's the reason as why I want both of them to actually be in this starting lineup. So I think Martin Odegaard, Emil Smith Rowe, and Granit Xhaka, that could be my midfield, although it lacks the defensive part of it. But like I said, if you're on the back foot on a team like Benfica, you might not be able to get a result. And trust me, we need a result in this game. On the left wing, I think I will come back Pepe. I mean, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was so good, magnificent. Call him whatever you want. Pepe was on the bench. I think he thought this was really unfair for him to be out on the bench, and he's been having these epic performances. But for issues of squad rotation, I don't have any problems with that if he plays against Benfica. So I play him on the left, then play Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang down through the middle. I hope that fire he used. No, I want to play Saka on the right. I think all of us can agree Bukayo Saka is Arsenal's best right winger these days, or best player anyway. You can talk about that. And then Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang comes down through the middle as our striker. I think that lineup would work. I mean, the front three, Pepe can give you a goal, Saka can give an assist, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, if he is on his day, he's going to give you the goals. You have a lot of creativity in Emile Smith-Rowe and Martin Odegaard, and you have a lot of defensive shape in Granit Xhaka. You also have a lot of defensive shape from Cedric and Luiz and Gabriel. So I think that is how Mikel Arteta should line up. That is how he should actually set up his team. What I think about this game is quite funny. Look, I know Benfica are not in the best form, and we are not in the best form. Actually, it's going to be a clash of two teams that having mediocre performances, coming together, fighting for what, silverware or something like that. The only chance Benfica have in this season is the Europa League. The only chance Arsenal have in this season is the Europa League. But we cannot say let the best team win. But I think that's where we are heading, because I don't see a big difference between Arsenal and Benfica right now. I don't see Arsenal being that extraordinary team that's going to threaten Benfica, and I don't see Benfica as that extraordinary team that's going to threaten Arsenal, putting these threatening performances. No, I think it's going to go down to tactical analysis. If we can't match them at halftime, can we actually match them in the second half? If they can't match us in the first half, can they match us in the second half? I think that's how things are going to be rolling out. But that is my predicted lineup, and I think you guys also have yours. You can feel free to share with me what you think about that game in the match in the commentary section. Just tell me what you think about Arsenal Benfica, your prediction. It's on a neutral ground. Will it, will that affect the game? I don't know. It depends on what you want to, what you want to call it, and what you want to think. For me, I've never thought of grounds affecting games. I've never thought of, places affecting games. Of course, I've thought of, fans affecting games. I think fans can affect like referees, but grounds, I don't think grounds actually affect results. Anyway, I might be wrong on that. So tell me what you think about this video, and smash a like on it, and I'll speak to you in the next one.